Infirmary Media.
Hey dudes and dudettes, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Be Kind and Rewind podcast, a podcast chock full of topics about the 80s, 90s, and more with retro celebrity interviews and fact-filled movie commentaries. I'm your host, Carlos, and this episode, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer, as we're getting into the fact-filled movie commentary for the mid-90s breakout comedy Ace Ventura. So joining me, making his comeback to the podcast is none other than Dillon, and we also have my lifetime amigo, Zach, making his debut on the podcast. But before we get into the movie, I want to let you know about my experience at Denver's Pop Culture Con this past weekend, which I guess they just changed the name. I was calling it Denver Comic Con, but I got corrected a few times. But anyway, so you've heard in recent episodes, my main goal was to get my Back to the Future 2 hoverboard signed by Christopher Lloyd, aka Doc Brown. So, you know, thanks to my paranoia when I showed up there, I was like, I'm double checking all the schedules. I checked the paper schedule, I checked the amp schedule, and they said, 1 o'clock was like the autographs, and 11 o'clock was like a picture thing. I'm like, okay, well, the autographs what I'm here for, but I'll go up there and just make sure I find out, see where he's at, so I know where to go. Well, I get up there, and apparently they're already doing his picture lineup, and right when he was finishing up the picture lineup, he was going to jump over to the autograph booth, like maybe literally like 20 minutes after I just walked up there, and I was going to do a podcast panel. I was going to listen to one of those. I was sitting like, a quarter mile away from the autograph booth. So luckily I went back, and so I sat in a somewhat short line, thankfully, and as soon as he popped out of nowhere, probably within like literally 10 minutes while I was waiting there, he comes up from behind the curtain, and everyone gives a nice little big cheer for him, and he starts signing, and that's when the anxiety kind of comes in, because you start thinking of, what are you going to say? Because you only have, 30 seconds to a minute at the most that you're kind of interacting with this person. So you kind of want to make the best of it, but you don't want to be a buffoon about it either, but you want to get out maybe things you appreciate, or a thank you of some sort, or I loved you in this, things like that. And so I was going through all of his movies in my head. And, of course, we had Back to the Future, Addams Family, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Clue, Suburban Commando, Angels in the Outfield. And they just kept coming. I'm like, well, which one, do I pick from? So finally, when it came to my turn, I walked up and I had a Back to the Future shirt on. It's the outline of the Circuits of Time from the car. And so he made a comment about it. He liked it, and he just grabbed the hoverboard. He's probably signed thousands of hoverboards, but so he knows where to go. He's like, middle? I'm like, perfect, go to the middle. And as he's signing, he's like, so, what's any of your favorites? So what's one you grew up with? I'm like, I grew up with all the ones you've heard of, the Addams Family and Back to the Future, but I definitely loved you and Page Master. And his eyes lit up. He's like, Page Master. I don't hear much about that one these days. So that's a good one to hear. So it was nice to give him a little surprise. So he shook my hand, and off I went with the Christopher Lloyd autograph at that point in time. So it was a nice short interaction. So I think I made the best of it. But that wasn't the end of my journey. Luckily, right next door with instant access was Thomas Wilson, who played Biff from the Back to the Future trilogy. So I scurried over right next door to his booth, and of course, it's a little shorter line, so I got there a little quicker, jumped in there and talked to him, so shook hands. He told him that he was basically the best portrayal of a childhood gym teacher. Had a few gym teachers just like him, thanks to his portrayal on Freaks and Geeks, so he loved that part, and that he commented that he wanted to do more with the show, and he was excited to maybe come back for season 2, but he was just as hurt as everyone else when he found out the show was canceled. So we shook hands, and I made my way to the floor, which I saw so many different cosplays all over the place. I loved it. And I'm not talking about the cosplay that you can go buy or order online. Even if it is intricate, that's great. But I'm talking about the people who spent all year getting their suit ready with their own 2 hands, buying the material, gluing, nailing, screwing, everything. So I saw all kinds. I saw the Night King. Had his little Night King son with him. That was weird, awesome, and weird at the same time. A Power Ranger putty. I haven't seen a Power Ranger putty in a long time. He didn't make the noise, but I'll do it for him. The Juggernaut from X-Men. That guy, not from the movies, but from the legit comics. Like, this guy had the big old fat helmet on, which was awesome. You always see a couple of Captain Americas, and they range from good to awesome. Jon Snow. Saw Jon Snow out there. A Fat Thor, which I call that Fat Thor, in which he could have been mistaken for the Big Lebowski, but Fat Thor, we now know what the distinguishment is at this point. I think it's more Thor's has got more of the belly. He's leaning back a little bit more, whereas the dude is just chill. He's a chill, a little bit of a chubby guy, but Fat Thor he's legitimately fat, and he's leaning into it. Gandalf was there with a lady friend, and then I saw a Silver Snake from Legends of the Hidden Temple, and a ton more. So those are just a few of them. I put them up on my Instagram, so if you check that out, you'll see all the cosplay that I saw, and also I got to sit on the Iron Throne, it felt powerful, but I took a little snooze on it. It was a long day. That's basically what it's good for, I think, snoozing on it. But one of my favorite surprises before I took off for the day was finding out that one of my favorite hosts, Clark Wolf from Collider Movie Talk, Schmodown, and her podcast, Sending the Wolf, that she was there. I initially was just outside the floor, and I was going through my bag, rearranging my purchases, and I just happened to look up, and I see her going through security, and I didn't really recognize her at first because she has glasses, so she wasn't wearing them, so it's one of those, you think you know somebody, but they just didn't have that distinct look for whatever reason. So she walked away, and it took me a second to register. I think that was her, but whatever. And then I look on my Instagram because I follow her there, and she had posted that she's going to be doing a panel in like an hour or so. I'm like, oh, perfect. That was her. So yeah, I went to go check out the panel, and she talked about, women and media and women and just like getting into Hollywood and her journey into everything. So she was doing that for all to watch, and it was definitely interesting. And I took a few things from it, and then we chatted briefly afterwards. And I thanked her for providing a lot of info that I do use in the podcast from watching her and everybody else on Collider Movie Talk. Just her general knowledge is always useful here on the podcast, and also her personality is just fun to watch. So it was a nice, fun little interaction with her. And then on my way out, I saw the crows and some other extras from the Game of Thrones documentary that if you haven't not checked out on HBO, go check it out. I saw those guys. They were all grouped together, doing group photos, doing all kinds of shout outs. You could hear them from all across the Comic-Con. But I did, as I ran by, I was like, yo guys, best part of the documentary, loved you on Game of Thrones. And then you just hear a big cheers, mate. That was my English accent, but that's what they yelled at me. As from the crew, so it was cool to get that little send off as I was walked out. So all in all, it was a great day at Denver Pop Culture Con. So I can't wait for next year. Not sure how I'll attend. Last year I did some cosplay. This year I went one day and just as a super fan, just got in and everything. Oh yeah, and I got my comics. That's what I had gotten. I told you I forgot about a few things that I had picked up. I was able to hit up a few areas on the floor. I snagged a 3D Sonic art piece from this Artovision. It's amazing. It's a little desktop version. It looks like a piece of a level essentially, but it's 3D. So you get shadow behind it, just like you move and you see Sonic move just a little bit. I love it. There's bigger versions that I will be ordering, but at that point I could only carry the small version because I was on my bike that day. I also I got a Super Mario World Bowser piece from Andrew Heath, which I am currently looking to find a frame for to get up there. Another piece from what was their names? It was a Lord of the Rings Mines of Moria poster from Rocket Pop Inc. Two frames I gotta go get. I found some NES classics, Rad Racer and Super Mario Bros. With Duck Hunt, all from All Seas Collectibles, which is out here in the Denver area. I haven't played them yet. Rad Racer, if you're not mistaken, that is the game that Lucas plays in The Wizard. It's so bad. So and then also I gotta get the gun for Duck Hunt because we just have the regular setup. I need to get the gun. I got a couple of Lord of the Rings figures I added to. I think I got Boromir, and then I've got Wormtongue as well added to the collection, so it's growing. And then lastly, got myself a couple Reptar bars. Yes, I've been on the hunt. You can see them online, but I'd rather find them in real person, and I did. I found them in real life, and they are delicious. I saved one, but it's from a store locally here in town that I'm going to have to go check out and stock up. So Reptar bars are as good as they looked in the cartoon. So for those who have not had the pleasure, you need to go check out, get yourself a Reptar bar. But like I was saying, all in all, it was a great day at Denver Pop Culture Con. I can't wait to go next year. And so basically getting to the podcast. So for those of you who are following along, we are going to be at the Morgan Creek opening credits for Ace Ventura with my amigos Dillon and Zach. So let's get the show on the road. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Here we are, Ace Ventura, Morgan Creek. I don't even know if Morgan Creek is even around anymore.
Who?
I don't believe they are.
Oh, Morgan Creek.
Production company.
When was the last time you guys watched this again?
It's been a few years.
It's been at least a couple years for me as well. Although I'm pretty sure I still have it memorized.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's wild to think
to
this
do.
thing's 25 years old at least now.
Isn't this how you treat everything that someone
If
hands
it's
you
not
that you don't want
yours.
to do it? You don't want to do it, and you're like, fuck this.
The cartwheel.
You know what? I will carry it for you. Sure.
If you look at the HDS, it's basically just UPS upside down. Which that was something that went over my head.
Courtney Cox. She's sexy in this, right?
This is pre
She's also done a movie with
pre
Jennifer
Friends,
Aniston,
yeah.
too. And,
just the mannerisms.
shout
all
out to
around.
Dan Marino for doing a decent job in this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Was this his only movie? I think. I don't remember seeing him in anything else, or even TV shows. Dan
One of the
Marino
great
should have had
quarterbacks
a
of
more
all
of a
time,
career.
never to win a Super Bowl. Bummer.
That's true. He's just a forever Fox analyst. Now it's going to be almost impossible for us to not quote this movie constantly, so forgive us if that's pretty much all you're going to hear.
Yeah, this is a classic. It might be a top 5 comedy classic.
I was, of course, a big soccer fan, and I love the shout out here.
Definitely have done this move
Oh, yeah.
with the same result. Thinking it'll be a little bit better. That was a solid kick.
Yeah, it was.
And the box that shows up is pretty intact.
That's true. That's the
foreshadowing.
continuation situation. They originally wanted him to be like a Sherlock Holmes, not animal related, but just actually like a detective, and not animal related or anything like that. Yeah,
lovely twist.
But they wanted Whoopi Goldberg because they thought they were gonna do a female version of it. But I don't know.
Can you imagine how much different
Whoopi walking around doing this?
This movie quickly made Jim Carrey my childhood hero.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I read the most was like it had the huge influence over male adolescents, in like 94, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the first movie I remember memorizing.
So we were like
start to
elementary
finish.
school, just getting out of 4th grade, so very influential, you know.
My mom, do the impressions.
Oh yeah,
Show everyone how you can do the impressions.
show your aunts and uncles.
Like, Mom, everyone's kids do these impressions, but sure, I'll spend 30 minutes doing them. That looks like it's really in Miami, is it?
Yeah, it looks like
gotta
it.
be.
Yeah.
I wonder what else that guy's been in. Because he kind of looks
he's like a little
bad
character
guy.
bit actor,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I feel like he got beat up a couple Van Damme movies.
maybe, or like a Home
He's
Improvement
like the,
episode of some sort.
Main protector of a villain in a
Yeah.
kids movie where, you know, the kids save the day.
You've been had.
Was he in a Three Ninjas movie?
He might have been. A loser. So when the director and Jim Carrey, when they first saw this, they thought this was going to end their careers. They thought it was bad. They thought it wasn't going to work. they were nervous because it was the director's first, is his debut film. So I mean, for being the first one, pretty solid. And Jim Carrey basically came in and took over. You know, they let him develop the character more because it was, like I said, going through Whoopi Goldberg and somebody else.
Well, you certainly see how well developed it became over the course of the movie too.
And it's just funny. Also, it works.
It's like a long sketch, really.
Well, it's
from
like
a sketch comedy.
It says he's lifted a lot of the mannerisms and the voice from the Living Color sketch, Overly Confident Gay Man. I don't think I've ever seen that one, but we'll have to go check that out.
I would definitely.
It's basically lifted this entire character for Ace. And whenever I buy somebody, this is exactly the noise that I make when I buy somebody.
Oh yeah, we all want that stuff.
It's a given.
That's incredible. Nice prop fall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the stunt man.
Definitely drive my head outside the window just like this for
Yes.
Ace. It's a little harder than you think after
It's
a while.
way harder than you
after
think.
the first
In fact, don't do that. That's
30
it's not a
seconds or
great
so,
idea.
it's,
Especially when you're 16.
putting others in danger, essentially.
You're 16 and you can drive for the first time and you stick your head out the window. Oh.
Yeah. They never
It's
get
quite the reward.
Well, it's a high-performance machine.
I feel like a premium. Will a reward be nice? For the longest time, I thought she was this legitimate porn star. That
Yeah, and why was she with that bum who had a terrible
That's
apartment?
true.
Like,
even a divorce, he wasn't. He would have been super rich if she really wanted to get with him.
unless she lives with her mom or
With that China
grandma.
set back there.
Probably Mom's
Maybe.
place.
Is
Look
that
at that
grandma's
China back
apartment?
there.
Yeah, the pink stuff is awesome.
Sure.
And this is like essentially a kids comedy. Oh, no, it is not really kids comedy. But kids went to go see
Is it
this.
PG-13?
I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely was an R.
Well, sex is funny, and get over it, prudes.
Get over it.
Oh man, terrible life for a dolphin.
Very small tank.
Mm-hmm. So this is 94. So this is like the first of 3 movies Jim Carrey was in. It was Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber.
I mean,
Bam,
he
bam,
just
bam.
took over. That's what.
All 3 great.
Oh yeah, all 3 we'll have to watch here. But man,
That's not how they do that in real
No,
life, right?
no.
Like with a syringe and a bare hand underwater like that, and
it's like trying to do that to like an actual fish. Like that dolphin's gonna just burst away, or do like a flip kick coming at you.
this is a dolphin that can kick field goals. So
Yeah.
special talents.
This is quite the heist for
No air conditioning.
spray painted on there. So the car he's driving, I was wondering what it was. A 1972 Chevy Monte Carlo, which
It's a sweet car.
these are like
actually.
they use these cars still to this day. Like anybody who's like a downer in a movie of some sort, or like a down on their luck, I guess is what it is. This is the car they drive.
Yeah, it got beat up.
Is there a story behind that? Like, were they all recalled because?
I don't know. They just become one of the more popular ones. Is one of the better ways to get by your landlord. Has anyone ever tried this on you, Zach?
Try to get by me by sneaking behind a bush like that? No, it's very cartoonish.
The pile.
Yeah.
the pile kicks the best.
And that guy got behind him quick.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Here.
Yeah, he must have been like, "Oh, see, I'm out."
This the haircut too. I mean, that's a brave
That
choice.
is-
and
it was all
I mean,
like
it's iconic.
Jim Carrey wanted to take like all these crazy choices that like he knew would either be huge hit or miss, and the hair was part of it. They had no idea if it would. If it would
He just
translate.
went way over the top with it, and it paid off big time. It's a big long sketch.
I guess his real landlord, and when he lived in Toronto, was Shika Dance.
Ooh,
So-
a throwback.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a shout out, if that's a
In your
backhanded kind of a thing.
I don't think he likes him. He doesn't paint him in a very good picture.
That's true.
Viper.
Come on. definitely use the double.
Can you imagine how bad this apartment smells?
You would automatically
many-
smell
This many.
the piss,
You've been to
the
a
shit,
zoo, right?
just those things breeding.
It stinks there.
I mean, if he's a landlord, he has the key, so he technically could just barge
No.
in and.
No, you cannot do that. As a landlord, that I know that.
I
for a
just
fact
realized-
is
I just
illegal.
Like,
realized-
I heard a fire.
The
This
doggy
is,
door in the freezer, or what?
No, the landlord is the guy in the wheelchair on Breaking Bad.
Oh yes,
Ding, ding,
that's
ding,
right.
ding, ding.
It's true. He's just as evil in there as he is here.
Yep.
That door is so close to his nose. He didn't notice the doggy door in the freezer, which would have thrown up
It's
some
true.
red flags for me
for
as a
the
landlord.
for the penguins.
Birds.
I think would have given.
stink.
I would have given it a little bit longer for him to step
Yeah.
away before I called out the animals. All the animals are good, but the skunk, like even if you're friends with a skunk, if you piss him off, it's gonna skunk you right in your face while you're
Short-tempered.
sleeping.
Or skunk short-tempered.
I think so.
Trash
I think
panda.
that's why they skunk people. Oh yeah, see the penguins in their little door.
See, like that's a
It's a dead giveaway.
yeah. Brown carpet though, that's probably a safe choice.
You should definitely.
Lots of earth tones. There's like a Yorkie in the middle there.
He was on Walker, Texas Ranger.
This guy right here.
Yeah,
Was he giving out the missions to Walker? And
I think he was. Yeah.
What'd you say? I was mesmerized by Courtney Cox's bangs.
Oh yeah, classic
Still
90s
hot.
bangs.
Shoulder pads too.
That's like
Shoulder
kind of
pads
like
still in '94.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
like I think that's toward the end. Like it's like on its way out.
It was, but yeah.
They're smaller now.
Yeah,
They're phasing them out.
it's his rabbit here or rabbit foot.
And terribly itchy balls, apparently, because that's fucked.
Well, I guess the plot hole here is Super Bowl teams don't play at home, so they shouldn't
true,
be
too.
worried.
It's random, though, so technically they could.
Yeah.
Technically,
I don't know if it was.
but I
at
don't
the
think they
time.
have yet. Was Courtney Cox already in the Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
video?
like
It was
80s,
like
wasn't it?
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
She'd
She was
been in some stuff already.
Yeah. I
I think
Masters
she
of
did
the
a couple
Universe.
soap operas.
okay.
Or
Oh,
something like
yeah,
that,
she went
too.
that route.
Look at oh my gosh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Those pearls on
I'm
the
probably
reception.
that's the friends bias is what they call that. But dang,
No, she's. All three friends chicks are hot.
this guy commits.
Definitely.
That's a great prop fall as well. Two nice stunts early on in this movie.
I'm pretty sure Jim Carrey did it
No
himself too.
beeper.
No
He was
way.
doing a lot of stuff.
He didn't flip off.
Not
the
that- not that
building
big
like
fall.
that. Name one other good football player for the Miami Dolphins at this time other than Dan Marino. Sports.
Can't. I don't even.
I don't. I like sports, and
You're
I
just
don't
going nuts in the
remember.
parking lot.
This move is pretty BA though.
I mean, it's not technically in a spot at all, but he made his own spot. I'll give it to
Yeah.
him.
It's pretty nice stunt driving.
The way he made that turn. He just knows he's gonna solve this goddamn case.
Oh yeah, the bitch.
Was surprisingly gentle.
See, as a kid, I was like,
I didn't know what he was
"What?"
talking about.
And
Yeah, I was
now
like,
I'm
oh, now
like,
he's got
"Ooh."
cavity searched, huh? Oh, I didn't realize she was wearing those flood pants either. Wow. That's quite the 90s
Dressed like
outfit.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah. Steve
On
Harvey's
vacation,
where's my
three-quarter
outfit?
length. He in the Caribbean.
Where's my
Steve Harvey in the Caribbean.
Where's my
with the
taupe?
3/4 length.
So I guess this is where he picks up the blue 42 later on that he uses to get Snowflake's
Ooh.
attention, which I went over my head as a kid.
Nice. See, that's something the writer puts in there that doesn't
Nobody
translates
really
on screen.
gets, yeah, until you actually read about it. the extra flicks. That's where it's at.
Look at the size of the shoulder pads. You know it's the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. The shoulder
Yeah,
pad goes like
Josh,
3
who's
inches
11?
up over the
Don't
ear.
know.
That's a pretty good joke from the...
Roger Predactor, what was that? What else has he been on? This guy. He's like a detective in other movies,
like a USA
maybe,
television show.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
In the early
like
90s.
a network, syndicated show of some sort. Oh yeah.
His hair is like a wave.
But that was the
in
other thing for me, like the bitch thing. When I was like, oh, he called her a bitch, but then I was like, oh, he's talking about her dog.
Yeah.
He really grows on her too if you think about what happens later. Like he starts off like not impressed.
On a really
or
bad-
she's not
bad
impressed
foot.
at all.
Just wait longer. Definitely a go-to.
Yeah. This is just loaded joke after joke after joke.
I mean, we like in elementary school in 5th and 6th grade, it was just a constant like who could quote the most out of Ace Ventura, and now it's like who can use it in the most like relevant situation.
To know that he basically took over the character and did a lot of this is
shows his brilliance.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted like Judd Nelson and
Do you know how much it cost to make this movie?
$15 million.
Oh, I bet it crushed
it.
then,
It made
didn't it? 85?
It grossed 72 in the U.S., 35 in Canada, his home country, 107
don't you
total
Yeah,
million
so
dollars.
it made a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's where we got that
He should have
sequel
pulled the Arnold
almost
deal
immediately.
where he's like, I'll take no salary up front, but I want half of what the
I
movie
mean, by the time they were looking to make the sequel, he had already gone through Dumb and Dumber and The Mask,
yeah.
and like, he had all the leverage
had
at that
to
point.
make
Like
the sequel.
he'll negotiate
the
whatever he
sequel
wanted.
is good.
Oh, yeah.
He
I don't have power.
Excuse me, your balls are showing. Some of the impressions I didn't know as a kid, but I still thought they were hilarious.
this guy is like personally offended. He loves the dolphin.
Like he is pissed.
Where
Jerry
is
curl
that
everything.
dolphin? So you can't go 30 seconds in this movie without a joke.
It's gets velvet.
So in the theatrical version,
See, the guy knows the regular trainer. Like,
cut out the whole version of this in theatrical movie. Like they didn't. This wasn't in there until the movie came out in VHS.
why are so many different versions available?
I don't know, either through
like
like
that.
censoring or certain regions
They
only
did cross
allow.
international borders to go to Canada, and I'm sure they.
I'm
changed
sure the
everything.
Canadian thing has something to do with it. Which it's stupid that why wouldn't they keep this in to begin with? It took them until after people had seen it before because they added footage. Yeah, now the guy's even more offended.
The shirt that he's wearing there too. I'm wondering where that ended up.
Right?
Because that
It's
is
pretty extreme.
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible.
So Lauren Holly, who was in Dumb and Dumber, she was supposed to play Courtney Cox's
Oh.
part in this movie.
Oh, they
That's
just
his
saved it
ex-wife.
for later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
They met on the Dumb and Dumber set.
Man, he has had, as far as leading ladies go.
Oh, yeah, she's sexy.
Whoa. He's had
Sexy
some
redhead.
good luck. Like, why is he all over the road right here?
Damn, he does have some...
Is he in a spot there either?
Not at all. At all.
This guy.
This whole exchange is so money. He's got one of the longest necks ever. This comeback right here.
How you gonna solve that one?
They named this guy after one of the producers, so I don't know if that's a good lad or not either.
Oh yeah, he hit him.
Oh,
hard
you gotta
there.
look around. Everyone's yeah. Come on.
Tone Loc.
Tone Loc had the wild thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times do you get in trouble doing this in public?
He was also in Blank Check.
My mom definitely got pissed at
Nice,
me
yeah.
trying to talk
Tone Loc,
with my
yeah, he had a
ass.
little- He was the original. I guess Tupac probably did it around the same time.
What's that?
Rappers in movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ice-T.
I'm trying to
Was
think.
Ice-T
Yeah,
was
Ice Cube,
acting?
Ice-T, those guys, early '90s. Except those guys are doing like Boys in the Hood, and Tone Loc's and Ace Ventura getting an ass talk to him.
How do you hold it together when you're filming scenes like this? I mean, he's really...
They're probably like on
he's
the
really
30th
spreading
take.
his cheeks like aggressively. Like that's on him. That's on Tone Loc, who's a rapper. He's like, hey...
There are follicles getting on Tone Loc right now.
He's like, I'm going to pretty much put my asshole on your forearm, and you're going to have to keep a straight face.
Just like two grown men just sitting in this conversation.
Look how straight he plays it.
Like I would take another movie with Tone Loc and Ace Ventura, like buddy cop situation.
cop.
Yeah.
Buddy cop situation.
Tone Loc still with us?
I think so.
Good.
I think he, doing his. I don't know if he's got a full album worth of music he can really perform. It's more like the 2 songs or 3 songs that he's out there. So he does like the Today Show,
So
maybe
he was just
appearances.
basically an entertainer, is what the deal was. He wasn't a serious rapper.
No.
He was just trying to make it
like
an
hype,
entertainment.
almost like a step above a hype man,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Because even Wild Thing is not like a fast song.
No.
See, I had to find out what Banaka was, too.
I didn't know what
It's
Banaka
the
was
spray,
either.
right?
Yeah, it's the spray. And every
Yeah.
time I see it, I'm just thinking
Why
of spraying
is
it in
it
someone's
called
ass.
Banaka?
Such a weird name.
That's fucking weird. Look how hard he's
like,
in there.
And you're shooting this all day. This is like a one time you're doing
Oh,
it.
yeah,
All
this is
day
30
you're spreading your
takes.
ass cheeks.
Yeah. Jim's like, you know what? I want to do that at least 11 more times.
Now, when he said Testicle Tuesday, he was looking directly at her nuts when he said that. So lots of foreshadowing in the movie.
Oh,
if you didn't pay
whoa.
attention.
Another one.
Yeah.
Like the field goal kick with the
Field
box.
goal kick, and then when they meet in the her office, there's a couple that will point out that there's some dead giveaways if you pay attention. Whew. I feel better.
I love that he's actually a genius and way smarter.
Not just
you know,
because they want him to be a bumbling idiot, but
Yeah.
they wanted to be like an actual a smart bird. I guess he wanted to play it like.
I'm sure you already
Sure,
knew
you
that.
That's what turns me on about you. Like with this over the top performance, think they had Rob Schneider and think about doing it for him as well. They had him in line, but Jim
I
Carrey
can
threw
see
like the
Rob
last
Schneider doing
person
it
they brought
actually,
in to,
yeah.
and they only did it because they saw a sketch on A Living Color.
No doubt. It sounds like it's like, oh, this thing's fucking falling apart, and we don't know if we're gonna. Let's just go
they did,
crazy.
Like I
here.
said, Whoopi or Judd Nelson and talks. I think.
So number one?
Rob Schneider would have been interesting.
I mean, Rob
think
Schneider
it'd
is a
have been
good
a way
comedian. I
different
like him a
movie. Oh,
lot.
yeah.
I don't know if it. I could see him doing his version of it.
And sketch comedy.
Cannibal Corpse. Here we go. Playing one of their, more favorite or more popular songs. Hammered. smashed face.
I like that one.
He like totally tries to blend in.
Yeah. the little shimmy, and the sunflower seeds in the
this
pocket.
Is another one. There's different versions of
I
what
was gonna
happens
say,
right
so
in
like
here.
when they show the TV version, he'd get up on stage and he'd like
That's
Yeah.
right.
he'd make
I
an
do
announcement,
remember
shut
that
down the
one,
whole
yeah.
concert, and then before he'd get out there, he'd be like, "All right, I gotta go. I got to deal with all your mothers." And everyone's like, "Oh, fuck this guy." Definitely. Getting shoved.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, that's how you get a mosh
the
pit.
under the chin flick
Right.
thing, where it's one of those things where I have no idea what
You
it
did it in
means,
public
but
as a
know
kid, and your
it's
mom's like, "Don't you do that."
But you know it's bad.
Here's the universal password.
Clam chowder.
Is that the red or the white?
The password thing.
I mean, we've used it off and on for different passwords, different versions.
It's how it's one of those tests that you can tell if
Yeah,
you're going to be friends with people.
exactly.
Is if they know that one.
So I always wonder why I call him Saint Francis. Saint Francis.
Animals. Patron saint of
patron saint of
animals, right? Yeah. I think I looked that up one time too. I doubt it.
1994. I'm not sure that's the kind of radar he's getting.
I never knew who Jimmy Hoffa was.
And
as
I
a
always
kid,
thought
right?
I thought he was moving the whales and not the actual ships as a
Yeah.
kid. I was like, "Oh, why is he separating the whales?" I was like, "That's not good." The double glasses. It's a sweet vest though. It's like a Legolas vest that he's wearing.
This was a very popular aesthetic in the 90s too. The
Press a
computer
couple buttons
well,
and we
like
get
the
everything we
computer
need.
room in a very dark. And I'm like, how many people work in a place like this where it's super fucking dark all the time? And they,
He's dedicated. He's dedicated to the cause.
turn on a fucking light.
Well, he's got a strobe light back there. You see, I never noticed the strobe or the disco ball.
Disco ball. And his double glasses are just ridiculous.
Yeah, and of course, 1994. There's no way anyone had any kind of technology. It's just like, oh, just press this button. Oh, we have all this information
bringing
for
up
this one guy
articles.
we're talking about. It's just that's just the way
There's
it
no
works.
Google.
I couldn't even do that now with Google. You barely get that much information. Before you get like 8 ads and directed
This
to the
guy
wrong
is
thing.
on another level, Os. Maybe they did know how to do that. And
90. Maybe he's tapping into
NASA's
that
hiding it
old
from us.
Reagan technology.
the jacket.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
Courtney
dude, she looks
Cox.
good in this movie.
What?
Like this. Almost every girlfriend has gone through this at some point.
I apologize to all the
Yeah,
high
all
school
previous
girlfriends.
ladies. Sorry.
It's terrible.
And there's a Love Boat reference, you know?
Sure.
No idea that. I didn't watch the show as a kid.
I've seen you do that to people in public, Lois, where you act like you're going to bite them.
Yeah. Hey, they get my way. That definitely, I pulled that move for sure.
Dance.
And here's the what was it, one of the lead vampires from Blade.
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers are
He
always
just
trying
looks
to
like a
ice
vampire.
uphill.
He does.
But he got a lot
That
of
was good
vampire
casting
related,
Mhm.
on Blade's part. Yeah.
vampire related things.
Yeah.
I bet when he goes home, it's like, you know what? I got another role today, and his wife or husband is like, vampire hunt. He's like, why do you always assume that? Yeah, it's a vampire.
You knew
role.
it. And do I call him lawyer?
Tom Ace.
The other actors in this play it remarkably straight, you know?
I mean, but
Like,
you guys
he's
think
the only funny guy.
how many takes? I mean, she's still trying to hold it. If you
Yeah.
watch them, like
Yeah.
there's times where
I'm going to pay
they're trying to
attention
hold
to
it
that
in
now.
I
themselves.
bet there's a few that she
And
died.
when he pulls the cello, when he walks by him, that was totally improvised. He didn't tell anybody he's going to do it. And watch his face; you can see him trying to hold it in when he gets to the hors d'oeuvres. Here it comes. And I always want to do this.
That's just, he just,
Look, he's just barely holding it.
Sniffing stuff.
And then the part always like that he told him that he was like a lawyer for like the food poisoning, so he's like testing all the food, making them all paranoid about it.
I just picked up on that. Oh my god!
I've seen this 1,000 times. This isn't the first time it's come up.
Oh god!
Definitely done this. Gotten caught a few times.
Definitely.
Now that I'm watching this again and just paying attention as an adult, I'm like, this is how I act.
Yeah,
a lot
a
of
little
the reason
too close.
is because of this
A
movie.
little too many situations.
I am basically basing how I act off of a character of a
From
movie that I saw
25
when I was
years
like
ago.
in 5th grade. Oh, that pain in your lower abdomen. Oh,
It's unbearable when it gets
I
there.
better
Or
get
like the
there
morning
quick.
cramps
Gotta
after
go.
meals. Like this
Yeah.
morning after those steaks that we had yesterday. Woo!
You just smell coffee and you're like,
And this is 94. This is before Mission Impossible came out. So we
Yeah.
didn't know this. I didn't know this was Mission Impossible music and they used it. So this is
It's-
like
it's,
before it was funny to use it, I guess.
yeah. the creeper villain, or the creeper.
The creeper walk. Like for 15 million, like this is supposedly supposed to be like maybe a little bit of an action set, and then he's just making what seems like a very small regular back area into his own little like jungle gym essentially. Because I've done this unnecessarily, gone on the other side of a rail and climbed
the
over.
unsafe side.
Should not have done that.
This. Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
The too far down. Oh
And
yeah.
he never needed to either.
No,
could've
no.
Yeah.
He just unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Oh, that too, where you flop
And-
against something and act like
And then
you
get the
shimmy
door.
in
I mean, I've done it in my own parents' house back in the day. Try to get as close to the walls to get to the door. It's just those little nuances this movie like creates the things that you
Like I
do
said,
the rest of your
I
life.
act like this now.
The rest of
and
your
it's because
life.
of a movie that I watched in 4th or 5th grade, where now I am this way.
Now I was always wondered why, like, why would he have this random room? This guy is the collector of rare fishes. So this is
Yeah.
like his mansion. This is like a
shark
room they've
room.
converted to a shark room.
That wouldn't work very well for a shark.
No,
though,
the
would it?
shark
Not
would
that
be
it
like
works
the
well
width-
for a dolphin.
The width
but,
of it, or just be
yeah,
doing
because of how they
circles
swim.
constantly.
Isn't it a little bit different? They don't turn like dolphins necessarily.
Yeah,
that
and
kinda
if it
thing.
was a great white, don't great whites like die almost immediately, like out in captivity?
I would believe
That is
that
a
to
small
be
tank
true.
for a real
Plus, dolphins swim upside down. Isn't sharks like lull? They get all lulled.
They have to keep
To sleep,
moving.
yeah.
Constantly keep moving for their.
If we could have someone out there just Google shark facts for us,
Just send it in.
and certainly you couldn't build up speed in a tank like that, a shark that big.
Nah. Oh god.
But that wouldn't be funny.
I always wanted him to come through the tank right there and like just show up in the tank behind her.
Oh, that's where he's keeping
Just
the great white.
Somehow he gets through there. This guy loves his fish.
Are you threatened by a guy like that necessarily, or you're like, this guy is so weird?
Which is like he has so much money that he decided to pick fish as his like that's what I'm gonna buy, like real estate and fish.
and that's also how I'm gonna seduce women, or
Oh yeah, the old fish tank
Mhm.
trick.
I mean,
the old
I've seen
fish
it
tank.
100
I mean
trick.
the early 2000s they had shows dedicated to those aquariums or whatever. Make those like celebrities and basketball
Oh,
players
God,
and people like that
celebrity
would get that stuff.
aquariums.
Yeah.
The amount of things that people watch that they really shouldn't give a shit about.
Oh yeah.
This
I think
guy
I
has
watched like
one
2 seasons
bathroom
of
in his house. I mean, come on.
that. Just another scene that reenacted in public. Mom didn't like.
I might have said that this morning.
I think so. You're like, where's the lighter? No need, just spray.
Been shrieking out there. I might have been killed.
I was just wondering,
You
like,
check
was
your
that
plumbing.
improvised or is that
Uh,
written? Like, there's no way that can be written.
Look at this.
And so how does this guy have a ring? What's his affiliation with the Dolphins again? Did we ever get that connection?
Mega rich.
He just makes large donations, maybe, or something like that.
I think if you're just a billionaire in the area of a team that wins the Super Bowl, they invite you there and give you a ring because you're a billionaire. He is kind of a Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, he's very loose with that evidence.
Correct. That was a very tiny little stone.
One of the better parts of the movie is when he's got to track down all the players.
That's a montage. Sweet montage. So they get a ring for a conference championship and a Super Bowl ring?
I don't know. Do they?
Why are we giving grown men rings all the time for things?
They got guys with like their high school ring, their college ring, and then they have their Super Bowl rings.
Then you get a ring. There's like pendants.
It's like you've been with me and I've done this multiple times. Swerve. Hey, why didn't you learn how to drive, pal?
Oh my god. Almost every drive I've ever taken.
Get the binos out.
How do you not get in a wreck when you're doing that?
This is great. I don't know which one's what would you say your favorite one out of this?
I like this one because it comes back to it.
It's got the chloroform over the mouth.
It's the joke revisited.
I don't know. I like the arm wrestling one too. It's pretty good. He gets tossed.
Yeah.
or the bathroom one.
How did he get in there? That's
the feet. That's the feet right there.
Movie magic.
Mm-hmm. If I were that guy, just shoving that thing over. There we go. his scream on the way out.
That guy is an athlete. Oh, that's one. And then I don't know. That's exactly the position I'd go into if I were threatened by a big dude like that.
Just count how many he has on his forehead here. I did all over his face. The bathroom one.
This one too.
Well, you have to have that gratuitous homophobic joke
That's
in
true.
the early 90s movies.
Well, this is not the only one. They'll have another one.
Seeing how common it was, too, back then.
Yeah.
Like, we can leave those
We just
jokes
threw that
out
around like nothing.
Yeah, we can leave those jokes. They're not that good a joke anyway.
No. Here we go. It's one of those you kind of want to try it, but then you're just like, what if I kill somebody?
Well, that's
pretty much.
I'm sure
that's a risky
probably a
one.
serious crime.
Definitely.
Actually.
Yeah, you can't just go around chloroforming people.
Yeah. When you're recanting the story to the cops and you're like, and then I chloroformed this guy to check his, and they're like, wait, what?
What did you just say?
He's all depressed because he can't solve it. That's a Sherlock Holmes type trait.
It's a unsatisfied genius. Which is actually like a legitimate like thing that could have happened. Like PETA or somebody could have came through and taken him, or any animal activists.
You know, they look at it like imprisonment, and it is.
It is.
Yeah, I mean,
when it comes
and
down
honestly,
to it.
Much like the dancing at the halftime, we don't need real live mascots.
No.
They don't really add that much to the experience.
It's just a time filler, really, is all it is.
It is, and the dancing can be of high quality. It's just like, that's, to me, the venue is different, you know? It doesn't add much to sports.
No.
But use that dancing in its own thing, and it's like, okay.
Yeah,
right,
if you in the right context, it's great. But not when I'm in the middle of watching,
it's like
game 3 of something.
It seems like a weird sidetrack.
fatty. Saddlebags.
You're unbelievable.
I see yell this to Jenna
Can
all
you
the
even
time.
make that joke anymore?
I don't think.
What's funny about that is he insults her and then later he sleeps with her, so that does work.
It shows you, gentlemen. You can make a
Way to
turnaround.
set the example.
And it's like the most like out of character sort of like moment you see even right here.
Mm-hmm.
He gets real for a second.
And that's it. And that's like the 2 seconds. And the rest of the time, like, he's on. He's like, he's Ace Ventura the whole
These
time.
really good comedic actors, too, they eventually end up doing really deep work.
Yeah, Ace Ventura
It's,
did all that. Or Ace Ventura. Jim Carrey did
Yeah,
all that
they
stuff.
always want to go out of range.
Robin Williams, too.
Yeah.
Like, real serious comedic actors. Tom Hanks was like...
Yeah, he was in
goofball
Bachelor
comic.
Party or whatever it
Yeah.
was. The Burbs. What else was he in before we started doing...
Oh, like...
Big was the... It was like a half and half Big. It was like
Money
a
Pit.
comedy. Money Pit, yeah. With
Splash.
Splash.
And then
Joe and the
he's- and
Volcano.
then he's like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, whoa.
Back-to-back Oscars. Forrest
Yeah.
Gump, Philadelphia.
like a hound dog.
I think Robin Williams, out of all of them, probably translated the best to the dramatic. I mean, what did he won? He won an Oscar for
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting?
Hunting, yeah, best
Yeah.
supporting
From
actor.
like true stand-up comic to that.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure Tom.
That
I don't
was
know if Tom
solid.
Hanks did
I don't
stand-up
know if he was
ever.
a stand-up. I think he was
He
just
did
a regular
a lot
actor.
of goofy TV
Mhm.
comedy.
Definitely, he was definitely comedic before he did anything else. Like Michael Keaton. Everyone-
Yeah.
I didn't really like before he was Batman. I thought he was,
Though.
you know, I didn't know anything before that. And one thing, this is a crime scene. Should they be letting him on
No,
and doing
most
any of
definitely not.
this?
That's another thing like Sherlock Holmes too. If you
Just
watch
gets
him,
to
he
waltz
just,
into
they're
places.
like, hey, he's a lot smarter than us, so even though
Yeah,
we hate
just
him.
that movie logic. Let it slide.
How nervous should she be after he
If
pretty much
she's
solves the
the
crime?
one-
And
Yeah.
she's the one that's guilty of it right there in front of everybody, and she's not like, "Oh fuck."
She's like, she kicked him out
Caught.
immediately.
And then she touches the blood. Too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Come on.
like, oh, let me add more fingerprints to this crime scene.
It's like, wait, there's one fingerprint. Well, there's a different one here. Sometimes when I talk to Sarah, she's like, wait, what do you mean? I'll go, and then I go into my explanation.
Yeah, it's mansplaining. That's definitely what you're doing, and you're guilty of it.
Evidence.
Oh man,
That,
She's-
that college shirt, I'm not really sure what's going on there.
this guy's
It's like-
insult game is so
Yeah.
you know you're gonna
I'm like,
get
Iguado,
thrashed here,
you've
dude.
been had.
Yeah,
Shut
you-
your mouth.
Hey, the jerks were cold. Yeah,
This guy gets fucking pwned every time.
Oh. The playground move.
I
Removing
just
the
got got by
handshake.
like a 6-year-old not that long ago, and I was like,
Oh,
damn
yeah.
it.
Ouch, it probably hurt just a little bit.
Yeah, it did. I was like, oh, fuck. That's right. You're certain.
Oh, and this is how you have to check every hotel room
Mhm.
balcony door when you get into it. To make sure.
Only this.
Yeah. This is wives and girlfriends everywhere. Like, Jesus Christ, you're
Will
going to
you
do the door
stop
thing again.
doing that?
Just enough with the fucking door already.
My parents.
I'm like, could you hear me? Yeah, must not
we
be
could,
double
we
pane.
could, we could
soundproof
hear you
glass.
the entire time.
I doubt it's soundproof because that would be like a lot more expensive.
Oh. Yes.
Yes. Get the hips into
Definitely
it.
some celebrations have been had like this. For small
One-
victories. You're
one
like,
of-
oh, I fit everything into the dishwasher perfectly. Yes. Yes.
One of the great physical comedians of all
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
Loser.
I mean, in his stand-up, if you watch his early stand-up, he
Loser.
has this bit where he's talking, and he just flops
Yeah.
backwards, like,
Yeah.
onto his back. One of the most insane things I see somebody do
Look
on
at her.
stand-up.
He just figured it out.
Oh, yeah. She's not having it.
Still driving the car.
How much hairspray?
Yeah,
hold that thing.
that hair's not
moving.
moving.
That's the LA gear. What was it? The LA gel back in the day.
Oh God,
That's what that
where it
is.
turned your hair into a literal brick. Could be used as a weapon.
Oh, we got the sexy solo in the back.
90s music.
Just need a little saxophone to accompany it.
The saxophone is sexy. There's no denying it.
There's nothing more sexy than
People knows it's sexy time music. Look at her, just swooning over him.
Well, it's like when we watched that interview earlier with Conan, and you just see that woman just like she getting into it.
Yeah.
So this
She
is
was
how
like,
Courtney, and opening her legs crossed right behind him and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh man, I've told this scary story so
Oh,
many
yeah.
times, and it works
It does.
every single time.
It's a great
They
campfire
knew
story if you ever
had
need
this,
one.
They knew the story was happening, but it had a different ending, and so what he does is, of course, his own version of it on the
And so
spot.
she was literally scared by it.
Yeah, she's like, "You bastard!" You can tell by her genuine reaction.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
I mean, acting
The Canadian.
Oh,
definitely the Canadian came out.
I love Canadians. Thank you, Canada, for being Canadians.
That's one of the funny things with the NBA Finals right now being Canada. Everyone's like, their trash talk is so nice. Everyone's been
Right?
so nice.
Yeah, because they're pumped about just being up there.
Yeah, entire
It's
country.
the whole way of life, man. It's like the West Coast without the pomp.
Yeah,
And like, we're on the West Coast, man. It's like that, only like, hey man, we're on the West Coast. Okay.
it's like,
all
yeah,
right.
it's a
Hey,
good time. We're
thanks
having a
for
good time
coming
over here.
and
Yeah,
visiting us.
come on visit.
We're,
Want something
we're
to drink?
happy to have you.
Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
With that furry caterpillar on
And
his
that's
upper lip.
literally Sean Young, the actress, in a mustache and wig.
Oh, that is amazing. Do they see a card later? Is
Yeah,
there a
yeah.
card?
He's on the ground or something like that. Another picture.
I'm about to pay attention to that.
But he got a ring, didn't he?
How could he have been left out?
There's not one line he delivers normally other
No.
than that one scene.
Like
that you
I said,
pointed
those
out.
2-3 seconds, everything is packed with ace.
A kicker should never be a boaster.
Never.
You're never anyone's favorite player. That's
And
probably
if you
not true.
fuck
That's
up,
probably not true,
it's all
but
on you.
I'm sure there's kickers out there that love other kickers growing up. But what are the odds that he also lived
Done that.
and grew up in Florida?
Yeah. Apparently just outside Tampa. Shady Acres was like apparently in Tampa. We should
Was it?
We should have gone
Oh,
there.
Shady Acres. Can we rent a room for you? That we've been closed for 30 years.
Halftime. They use this song in this movie, and they use it with the gorillas fucking in the second one too at the end. They said, Courtney Cox said during the sex scene, all the animals in Ace's apartment had to be chained down. The squirrel would get loose and jump on the penguin.
Oh,
The
yeah.
penguin would
Look
get
at all of them.
The penguin would bite the cockatoo, and then soon all hell would break loose, and she'd just be under the blankets.
That wouldn't be a bad spot to be.
Getting it.
He's definitely a watcher.
When I think about how many times my dogs have seen me
I didn't
have
realize
sex.
the other dog was on the bed with them. I must be tired. I don't know. That's too soon. You gotta give yourself a few minutes.
Yeah, there's chafing that would happen.
There's chafing. There's just a little more. You need time to build up again.
Might need some coconut water.
Yeah.
Coconut water replenish the
Oh, yeah.
electrolytes.
Yeah. Maybe a couple pieces of shrimp.
Pineapple, celery.
Collard.
Pretty much any food. You just need some food.
Yeah, just a snack. Like George Costanza had the sandwich next to the.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna combine my two favorite things: eating and sex. That's a fucking hate crime, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, there's still people.
Yeah, they still live here. His parents
And
do
the
live
people
here.
that are writing that money, they're like, I lost $20.
Yeah. Nobody lost real money.
It took me like 100 times watching that before. Like, oh, he
Like,
shit
he shit his
himself.
pants.
Yeah.
Oh, because even during the trailers, I was like, what? The Mule. It's a pretty sweet nickname for a kicker.
Yeah, people shouldn't be living in that house. By the way, you saw.
You'd be
giant
surprised
hole
with
in
what
this-
worse
the
they
house.
live in out in Florida.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
right? This
she's
one, right?
the librarian from the Ghostbusters. Apparently, I forget the old man was in something else too earlier.
He looks like the farmer in that painting. You know what I'm talking about?
He
Where
does.
He's holding the
Yep.
farm
Mhm.
tool and his wife's.
Oh,
there in the
yeah,
farm
you're
and
right.
everything.
I mean, yeah. So that house should be abandoned because there's no actual drywall. It looks like on any of that
No,
those walls.
That's
And
these
then
poor
that
people.
Florida humid heat, that is not ideal.
Yeah, this guy's wearing long sleeves too.
Yeah.
Look how angry he is.
Another sweet Hawaiian shirt. Oh, like he's got variety. He's got the red, the white, the black. He's switching it up. I'm trying to think. I think I wore the
Ooh.
white version when I was in the tutu when I was playing football dressed up for
yeah.
Halloween, 1994 or 5. I can't remember what year it was.
It was probably the year or the year after.
The year
this
after,
movie
yeah,
came out.
probably.
Yeah, where you dove over my bushes in my front yard and hit the rocks, and I'm pretty sure knocked the wind out
It
of
was,
yourself.
pretty. Yeah, I think something happened. An
I tried to
injury
warn
of some
you-
sort.
I tried to warn you, but you had already fully
I
committed.
was like, this is happening.
I want one of those cookies.
Those are like professional grade cookies.
Oh,
Just
those look
I
really
want,
solid.
a
Laces
cheese pizza
out.
when I watch
Home
Alone.
or
Yeah.
the mac and cheese.
You want the at the end of the movie,
cheese pizza,
mac and cheese, and then
just
yes,
for
these
me.
cookies look delicious. He didn't even eat any of them. I'll be
I get
taking
in
it
the
to go
mood for the
box.
food that I see in movies.
It's like whenever you watch a Brad Pitt movie and he's always eating. That's like his gimmick. He's always
Right,
eating
Ocean's
something in
11,
one of his
he's
movies. Like
always
Ocean's
eating.
11, he's like every scene he's
Every
eating like
scene.
something.
Gives you something to do.
Mm-hmm. But when you're an actor and you're filming all day, you have to constantly eat the same thing for the same scene.
Well, he's been dieting because that man is.
If we remember the six pack he had from Fight Club, I think we all remember the man's doing okay for himself. What
Okay,
a
I don't
sports
care.
nut!
Even if you're losing a little bit, you can still read, right? That says "die, Dan, die,"
Yeah,
and this lady's
Or
acting
seeing-
like there's nothing wrong.
seeing dolls being stabbed, I think it's a dead giveaway as well. I mean, 1994. This easily could have been on a VHS, but I guess it's more ominous from a projector.
Well, this was what Super Bowl was this in the 70s or something?
I couldn't remember which one they
No,
said
they
it
said
was.
84.
Oh, they said 84.
Yeah, because it's the same year they got the rings.
Oh, 84.
Fickle's the mayor.
Ooh, we're about to see the henchman.
Definitely done this. You
gone,
thought
didn't
I was gone, huh? Okay, so the
Was there ever a rumored romance between those two?
I don't think
'Cause
so.
I'm seeing some on-camera sparks
Oh,
here,
yeah.
even though that was a phone call, so not really sparks, but
So I guess the whole plot of Ray Finkel missing the game-winning field goal is based on the Super Bowl Buffalo Bills kicker Scott Norwood, Super Bowl 35, which occurred three years prior to this film's release.
Because
yeah.
Bills lost 4 years in a row.
Mhm.
they
That
also
hurts.
made it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row.
They
which
did.
is extremely impressive, but either that or it's just a weak division. Shut up. The Bronco. This was pre-OJ or same time?
This is like the same, like maybe the same week,
year.
Right?
they
They
came
both
out.
came out.
Damn.
I wonder if the Bronco was a coincidence.
I see.
Those were cops that he just hit. With
Yeah,
the
you're
car,
definitely
right?
going to jail now.
Oh God.
The catching the bull in the teeth is definitely
Yeah.
over the top for sure. But that's what they wanted. They wanted over the top action because they couldn't afford, actual like explosions and shit. They might as well make this shit ridiculous.
That's probably the most unrealistic part of the whole movie, right there.
Yeah.
Right?
but it's still hilarious. You
Yeah.
still buy it because it's Ace
Oh, yeah.
Ventura.
Just takes out picnickers. Oh, that's great.
His driving is a big part of these movies.
Yeah, and the second one
yeah,
too.
both
yeah.
movies. Yeah.
I think I imitate his driving the second one more than the first one.
This chick is cold too. She could totally do that Sarah Sanders job. She's just like, fuck what you think. This
Press
is what we're
secretary,
saying."
Yeah, she does show no emotion.
Cold.
She's got one of those like seductive voices too.
This guy's never working. He's just
No.
always around. Like, go.
That's.
Do
I felt like
something.
I kind of want to be a detective when I was younger because I was like, man, they got a cake job. Who gets the coffee?
I literally used this the day I left to come up here.
Yeah. I just want to know how much time I have.
Now listen to her peeing because the sound makes it seem
Oh,
like
it's
she's
a
peeing.
dude.
Yeah, totally from a distance. Didn't have to.
And
wipe
she
her.
doesn't wash
Yeah,
her
had to
hands.
wash
Was there a
and
flush?
wipe.
Nothing.
I didn't hear a flush.
I didn't hear a flush, but
And then we got the apple and the banana over here as well.
Oh, that is balls and
my
cock.
God.
I don't think I ever noticed that.
Yeah,
Good shout out.
it's just all these little things we just didn't see.
Look at all those files everywhere too. I know they still write down everything, don't
That's
they?
just a
Do they
shit
keep those
ton.
written records?
No.
I think a lot of places are transitioning. It's ridiculous.
Another great shirt, Ace.
She was originally cast as Vicky Vale in Batman, but then
She's a little sex pot too.
Yeah.
She was known for being like real seductress type roles.
and then she also she tried to get the role for Catwoman in Batman.
Yep.
Batman Returns.
Yep, I knew that.
But she was originally in Blade Runner. She was the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right at the
the-
beginning.
yeah,
remember that.
she's the main
AI
yeah, I can't figure what they're called. Replicant.
replicant.
It's my good ear. This is quite the makeout session.
You gotta love
It
a
is.
woman or
And the
That's
gun
what
digging
she
your
wants.
hip I use as well, but this is another reference that her boner is digging.
Yeah.
his hip.
oh, gosh, she thrusted it
Thrust
right
it with
in.
it, yeah. Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Maybe later.
That bony little bitch.
Her elbows are bony. That's about all you can say because that front side and back side is
It's
looking
just
fly.
fine. So get out of here, Guado. Ace's face. Like, fuck you.
Do that too, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
When someone's yeah.
Oh, yeah. The lips.
for not being a big shot actor at this point too. These two chicks have had some movies under their belts, and he steps right up to the plate here.
Holds his own with them.
Yeah.
So this is when we go to Shady Acres.
You have to commit me.
They named this after the director, Tom Shadyac. So Shady Acres.
Nice.
I don't know what the actual facility is, but apparently it is in Tampa.
Ace,
Tampa
what are you
area.
doing here? I'll be like, have you seen yourself in the mirror? You know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
He didn't really need to change him up anyways. He's already crazy as
You
it
just
was.
put a tutu on him.
Yeah.
Good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Hair and all. Boots, tutu. There's this show on Hulu called Pen 15. It's got this Asian girl and this other chick. They're acting like they're in middle school, but they're like 25, 30 years old. They're just playing into it. And the Asian chick does this whole reenactment of this entire scene, like spot on. It's hilarious. In front of her whole class and shit. It's hilarious.
That is awesome.
Pen 15.
Yeah,
Look at,
I guess,
Courtney
it's
back
supposed to look
there,
like penis.
trying
Like,
to
Oh
hold
yeah, I
it.
remember it.
She's watching him do this for like the 15th time.
she's like, this is how my career is gonna start. The backwards talk. The two people in the back, I wonder how many times they lost it just
Oh,
being,
I know.
being back there.
What a great job, by the way, to be an extra.
Being
on
extra,
this set.
yeah. I think they get paid like $50 a day or something, $100 a day. I'm open. Oh, another Ghostbusters connection. He was the mayor of New York.
Yep.
Was there? Oh, you said the director. This was his first movie.
Yeah, I'm not
So maybe
sure
there's
where
some
all the
producers
Ghostbusters
or
connections are
something.
coming through. I forget. Maybe the producers or something like that. Yep.
Done that.
The infamous toss. The
Oh,
infamous jump over the bushes. I love using that gif in messages when I'm excited.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm pumped. Here we
Yeah.
go. Halftime.
The sound it makes when he slams
Oh,
his face into this
it
bench.
hurts.
I
Every
know,
time.
it's such a good
Oh.
slam.
That's got to be added in post, right? He
I-
really. Oh,
It's got to be definitely embellished, but I'm
Ooh.
sure that the
How
way
did-
you see the cushion go in,
Yeah.
you know, he
his
slammed his
fucking
face
nose,
into that.
man. Ouch. Love those old school water fountains too. You probably don't see those a lot anymore.
Only in schools, and when they do,
Actually,
they're
I know you can buy them, but
oh, what? Put one
Yeah.
in your house.
Yeah.
One of your houses.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's Hawaiian punch.
Hawaii.
No, every time you see the spout goes out like a fourth of an inch, you're
Oh,
like, oh, how many
it's-
mouths am I about
yeah.
to kiss right now? Getting a drink of
You gotta
water.
take the spout away. That's how they solved it in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
With their mouth in the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Hawaiians do this weird thing where
Yeah.
oh,
It's a great
That's
episode.
weird.
the bubble wrap.
We've all fallen victim to the bubble wrap. Some people get off by it. Some people get surprised by it.
What is that? Not? Don't you feel alive the most when you're trying to be quiet and you hear when you make a loud noise and it just immediately like all your senses go into hyperdrive?
You just get pissed. Like, why did I just make that? Why did you make that noise?
That
They
was
found
a
that pretty quick.
Yeah. And how long ago was that guy there? How long ago did he escape?
That's true. It had been
They
years.
said
Well,
I think
yeah.
they said 8.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
and he just walks right in and finds
or
it.
the dad said that.
it's a good call.
Someone didn't stop him doing that after he got through the word die. Like, oh, great job.
This is great work. Oh, whoa!
Lace
What does
this
that
out.
say? It's like in MacGruber when he writes the license plate down, the license plate number like 1,000 times.
Oh man. Man, this is not how you should talk to coworkers
I
either.
bet you were a pain in my ass.
Is that his boss or?
Man, you a pain in the
Talking to his boss
I
like
think
that?
so. Or maybe a coworker's like, you ain't supposed to clean right there right now. So I guess the name Einhorn is German for unicorn.
Ooh.
A penis reference? Or...
A little phallic appearance,
Did not
phallic reference
know that.
there. Yeah, all this
See,
deep phallic
is,
references.
This is the art, right? You have someone who wrote the script, and then you have someone who riffs on it. It's all just fluid like that.
You just find out all these gems. You said you watched in Living Color before you watched this,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And Dillon, did you watch in Living Color too
I do
before?
remember it.
What's crazy is In Living Color was on when we were young.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
In
you to
elementary
our
school, like
parents
early
for
90s.
It was one of the
allowing us
first
to watch In
sketch
Living
comedy.
Like the
Color.
Wayans
Yeah,
brothers, we got
shows
introduced
ever.
like part of the Wayans clan,
the
and then
early
David
Wayans.
Allen Greer played
Yeah.
a bunch of great characters on that because he was in Blank Man. He's the other guy in Blank Man.
Yeah.
And then Jim Carrey's like one of the few white guys, and he did like the Vanilla Ice sketch that one time, which really blew up that over time. And then the Fire Marshal Bill, and he's got
In Living Color was good.
I would say
The
it was,
dancing, the whole show was good.
it was definitely on par, if not better, than SNL back in the day.
That's nuts. Growing up in Kansas, my mom and I are watching In Living Color
Yeah.
at night.
Because they show that, because SNL came on like at 11 on Saturday nights, where that was coming on like at prime time, like 7, 8 o'clock, and Living Color was on Fox. So we had a little more exposure to it.
That's a good show.
But yeah, because like I said, we were already watching like Wayne's Brothers, or watching Friday and Don't Be a Menace and stuff like that. All those,
Oh, yeah.
those comedies.
No, there's a lot of decent names that came out of In Living Color for sure. Of course, the Wayans Empire. Is that... See that picture? That can't be her though.
I think so.
Sean Young. What?
That was a fact.
That makeup
they,
is
they,
great.
They did up some makeup. They did the hair and wig.
Great job.
I can't say for 100%. That one did look like a man, but we'll see. Finkel and Einhorn.
The head back.
Sometimes it's what you got to do. Just get a thought in. Just
Probably like 5 minutes total.
where your animals help you out, but you don't know they're helping you. He's like, get out of here.
How many crimes are solved like that? Like just by
Just
happenstance?
yeah,
A stroke of genius.
pretty
piece of
much
evidence?
every filmed crime.
I doubt it ever happens like that. And then my dog went and laid in the hair, and it just triggered something in me. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
See, just need that little bump, a little extra.
Cut off flannel shirt there. Sweet.
So
look.
right after he did this, he took. I didn't realize it was right after this. He did Batman Forever as the Riddler.
Oh, it was
Oh, right after
Riddler.
this?
It was 95. Was when Batman Forever came
That
out.
was on-
Whoa.
yeah.
So so it was Ace Ventura, The Mask, then Dumb and Dumber, and then right after Dumb and Dumber
All
was
in
Batman
94?
Forever. Yeah, and then Batman came out in 95.
Yeah.
And same with When Nature Calls. And then one of our favorite underrated ones was The Cable Guy in
The
96.
Cable Guy.
Oh,
Watch
such
The
a
Cable
great
Guy
movie.
again. Definitely watch The Cable Guy again.
Yeah.
It is underrated. It was hated on.
Such a dark comedy.
With Tenacious D, Jack Black, and
Yeah.
Kyle Gass in the
Yeah.
movies at
Yeah.
some point.
Well, wasn't he the first to get paid $20 million as an actor for that movie?
Yeah.
Was that 20 million?
I think
that was
so.
the first one.
Whoa.
I think it
Yeah.
was the first one.
Or no, it was
a-
Batman Forever because him and Tommy Lee Jones
Oh,
were
dude.
butting heads about it.
Okay, yeah.
Because he was getting paid
so.
so much for it. Tommy Lee
Nude
Jones is like, I
scene.
could not
Nudity.
stand your buffoonery. He hated him on set of Batman Forever. So this was the other gay joke that they got a lot of
Yeah.
flack for.
Yeah.
For his reaction to the whole kissing a guy.
Well, he
All
was
that-
lied to.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, deceptive. But they figured they had to go over the top with the reaction,
Well,
or else
they've
they're gonna get. They knew they're gonna get flack anyway, so they just went over the top. The face he makes right there.
Just has so much gum, too.
These henchmen got the life. Got to beat up Dan Marino. Yeah, so he was 95 was Batman Forever, Cable
Damn.
Guy, and then Liar Liar,
Oh,
which
my
another favorite.
I like
So
Liar Liar a
good.
lot.
And then
Yeah,
Truman
he was-
Show, Man on the Moon.
See, Truman Show is when he started getting deep, and the Truman
Yeah.
Show is
Yeah.
good.
Truman Show was good.
I mean, really,
I mean, he did good in Man on the Moon too.
it wasn't really until like, man,
He was
like
busy
2004,
once this
like
stuff hit.
or 2005, like Fun with Dick and Jane and Lemony Snicket's. Like those ones, like kind of not as great as the early ones, as for sure.
I don't think the Lemony Snicket's thing was his fault, though.
No,
That was a good,
Yeah.
like his.
Wayne
character
did the
in that was
Grinch.
good. Oh, the Grinch. Too.
yeah, he did the Grinch in 2000.
In 2000, yeah.
2003 was Bruce Almighty. The Majestic.
Bruce
2001.
Almighty's funny.
But man, if you just look at the
he's
lineup,
using his same joke.
I never realized
And it
that.
just stick- and it
That's
just
good-
sticks right
a
there,
good
too.
callback.
He's wearing like fucking orange pants.
Yeah, so he's got a pretty sweet IMDb.
Like, that's probably why he shaped the our childhood so much. Is
Yeah.
because he was so busy right
I
when
mean,
we were
94
becoming
through
aware
like
That was
for
a
10
lot
years
of
when we were
good
fourth
movies,
grade till we
yeah.
graduated high school. Essentially,
Yeah.
that's pretty much his influence.
This is a solid kick with heels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really impressive.
That's when you know you got a professional kicker on your hand.
If that was really her from behind too, in that shot,
Maybe.
I didn't get that
Dan.
part, the Dan part.
Had
Dan.
Dan Marino get involved.
No, the her just repeating his name all weirdly. I mean, obviously it's a weird thing to do what she's doing here in general, but
I don't know. Is it more weird than Dan's vest?
not at that time. Probably, probably. That
He was
probably
shooting
one of the
an
least weird-
Isotoners commercial, so it wasn't his wardrobe then.
He puts the fan in.
Yeah,
the,
for 2
the
seconds.
raft to go through 3 feet.
This probably paved the way a little bit for like Austin Powers, you know,
Mhm.
kind of like goofball.
Parody, like
Yeah.
parody detective or parody.
That's probably
type
a
movie.
pretty common trope, actually. But these guys were our generation that did it. I'm gonna feed it, and then these guys deserve to die.
Yeah, see, even Dan thinks so. He's like,
And they got him tied up with that thick rope that's
The
not
thick
tight at
movie
all.
rope, yeah. that fake movie rope. I think that's the James
The old
Bond.
Sean Connery.
yeah, little James
007.
Bond. Like I said, there's like impressions that our parents would get, that we would get. It's like
Yep.
kind of all over the place.
Broad
But now
appeal.
we're getting
Yeah.
these jokes.
Broad appeal.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's.
And I didn't know what smelt was. I was like, is that
Small
fish?
fish.
smell fish then? Yeah, as a
Right.
kid, I was like, is that small fish? I guess. This laugh. I've done this
Fire
creepy
Marshal
laugh
Bill.
more. The Fire Marshal Bill's laugh more than a few
Fire
times.
Marshal Bill.
God, that was a creepy ass character. Fire Marshal Bill coming half burnt.
Kind of fucked up when you think about it.
Oh, yes. My favorite was when he got on the Star Trek Enterprise.
Let me put down my gun.
Yeah.
Announce it.
It's nap time.
Ooh, rips their head off.
Well,
Yeah.
originally they
A
had
hook
it
like that?
They had it to show that like they're gonna show their heads flying off, but they thought it'd be a little too graphic,
yeah.
so they cut away right before. He's got the SWAT team
Yeah,
rope.
he just had all that repelling equipment.
Yeah.
And he could have just walked there. Because the bad guys are
That's true.
incapacitated.
Uh-oh.
Another foreshadowing joke.
Right.
Too many men. Yeah, you're right. God, it's all over the place in this movie.
Yeah.
That's the most random thing to say.
Got the ring on.
Oh, yeah.
Just notice it there for the
Yeah,
first time.
too.
Like,
Right?
He steps on the hand later and,
Oh, it takes it off and
Yes.
sees
and
the
then kicks the
missing.
dirt in her face.
Which is like, you always think he's going to kick her in the face, but he does it so
Oh.
perfectly.
Yeah, imagine if he was just riffing on that and like backheeled her
just
right in the
like,
front teeth,
right in the-
knocked her 2 front teeth out.
Right in the dome. Oh, I'd be like, oh no, we're at the Super Bowl. Can this wait?
The Super Bowl or
Emilio.
the Kentucky Derby?
And I was like, Emilio! I swear. Dan and his helmet hair.
I would never describe Dan Marino as a musclehead.
That's what.
He's got a total dad body.
Dan has looked 37 since he was in college. What was that? Pressure.
It's kind of
Now
a
she's starting to break.
it's kind of a bad joke.
She's starting to break.
That looks like an old game for sure. What kind of gun is that she's rocking? That thing's
Yeah,
large and in
that's like
charge.
45, huh?
That's a big one. 44, 45.
Damn. She's not fucking around. Yeah. Feels good.
Yeah,
The noogie.
that had been fun to film.
Uh,
Those SWAT guys just following each other in with their weapon pointed at the head of the man in front of
he's
them.
like, yeah, all nice clothesline. She takes it in stride.
She does take a beating here and keeps on fighting.
You don't understand. The sweet, like, those punches are like, she's got some
I
power
guess what
behind
the
those
plot
things.
is that she is hiding the fact that she's a man. A lot of the jokes have to be geared towards that.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it's
They're
hard.
trying.
It's hard to make a not insensitive
and
joke.
subtle, yeah, trying to make it subtle.
For them, it was anyway. She's lucky she didn't get sniped.
Yeah.
Like,
So
oh
what
my
happens
God.
after this, and we go deal with her?
Yeah, they snipe her, and it's like, well, that didn't really work out as planned. The movement in the hips too.
That's got down there. Fiction can be fun. What kind of pants is he wearing, actually?
Is his belt outside the loops?
I think
It does seem it.
I was more concentrating on that.
Look at her twitching back there.
Mm-hmm. It's a long, drawn-out plan.
Yeah. Became a ranking member of the police force though in 8 years like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I mean,
incredible.
But, like, okay,
Yeah.
so police force, you have to pass certain, like, physicals, right? I mean, so she's probably, like,
And
top of her class and everything.
And psychological stuff.
Yeah. Boy, that's really on there. With everything. If I can't get it on there, boy, that's really on there. So this is all Jim Carrey's idea to do this.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do that.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't take an entire weekend. Big old
Mr. Kanish.
Yeah.
The tuck. She's got the legs crossed with the classic. You know, if you're
Yeah.
tucking, you got to cross the legs a bit.
She's taking care of herself
boy.
too, isn't she?
Yeah. It's a good thing Dan was back there. And hemorrhoids. I didn't know what hemorrhoids were either. I was like, I guess they're just big chunks of shit coming out of your ass. I don't know what that is.
Kids don't deal with hemorrhoids, or they might, but that seems like it would be rare. As an adult, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's grosser than a penis, by far.
And whatever all the guys in the back not looking at right now.
A lot of them look like 13 years old.
Yeah,
if you pan around, I'm like, how is that a teenager back there?
Oh,
It's all veiny. What? I wish we knew what they put back there.
Yeah, I
What
don't
was
know
the prop?
I don't know. Probably like a tiny dildo.
Probably something off the
come to
lunch
prop
buffet.
guy. Yeah, they come to the prop guy and they're like, "Hey, we need a dick,
Probably
but
some
one
Jell-O.
that's been tucked behind and like sitting in front of an asshole."
It definitely looked like a big set of balls and a dick cuff
Quick
back
decision.
Die what?
there. Animal something. Animal what? She called them.
Water did not agree with her.
No. Yeah, I always thought that kick was. I was like, damn, you almost
How
kicked her in the
close did that
face. So close. Hey, Ace, got any more of that gum? Perfect. Perfect
Use that
reaction.
one a lot
It
too.
is, dude, yeah.
Whoa! Did you see the shoulder pads?
Yeah.
Mm.
They were ridiculous
I wonder
in the 90s.
where they got those extras.
Everything was just so big in the 90s.
It's funny for like normally with football movies they focus on like the game and stuff like that. Where here it's all about Snowflake the mascot. We
Yeah.
have no idea
And
what
they get
happens in the
Snowflake
game
back
whatsoever.
quick.
Oh, I assume they
man.
win though, right?
I guess they never actually like stated.
Oh, they probably don't.
I thought Daniel was retired at this point. I forget that he was actually
Probably.
playing back then.
Oh, was he still?
It's been so long since he
I think
played.
he played
probably
through most
was.
of the 90s.
Yeah. he
It's like
probably
maybe
was.
late 90s he retired.
Man, I am jealous of the women he's got to kiss while filming movies.
two friends. You got Courtney Cox and
Oh,
Jennifer
yeah.
Honestly,
Aniston.
on my
Bird
top
comes
5
back in.
celebrities.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get that reward.
This is a great sequence. A lover
The
of
mascot.
all
Lover of
animals.
all, yeah.
And why is the eagle over here on the
It's
dolphin
true.
sideline?
It's true. I like that guy's like, I got you, my man. I got you. Idiot.
Polly.
Blow me.
Oh, really?
Oh, the two tap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, the
Knees to
kick.
knees,
The
too.
knee was a good
And
placement
then
for
the
sure.
tackle. He was fucking winning this fight.
Yeah, he
early
was.
on.
Oh, look at Tone Loc getting with the girls.
Yeah, the cheerleaders over. Yeah.
Dan's like, oh, classic Ace.
Crazy Ace.
Get off.
He killed this.
Oh man.
Is
so
there?
great.
Hey, hold up. Is there a quintessential rap?
Oh, this
Yeah.
is Tone Loc. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the 90s. Let's
A rap about what happened in the movie?
what happened in the movie, and
Emilio.
let's incorporate the lead star of the
Yep.
movie into the rap
Yep.
somehow. Yeah. So this is
Nice riff, too. The
what-
woman sings it, right?
Oh,
Jet?
I love rock and roll.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn, Tone Loc, he just can't write his original, can he?
No, that was the '90s too, though.
Yeah.
Samples.
So Ace Ventura still holds up, guys.
Oh man, it held up in all sorts of ways.
So would you recommend it to those who haven't seen it then?
There's people out
Yeah.
there who haven't seen this movie.
There are definitely people out there who have not seen
Okay,
it.
yeah.
And that's sad.
It is.
Yeah, get to it quick.
And it's a movie also, like kind of like Anchorman. You might have to watch it
A couple
times.
times. I mean, we've seen it 1,000 times. Look at all the shit that we
I've seen
realized in
this
this
over
viewing.
100
Share it
times
with
now.
your kids. Share
Yeah.
it with your parents.
Yeah, you will
Generation
eventually
Z
get the
kids
comedy.
get into this film.
Yes. We recommend all get into it because, like we said, this is our 1,000th time watching it, and we're just still finding him. So
Google Tone Loke.
And Google Tone Loke. Hopefully he's still alive. Hopefully he's still out there.
Yeah,
We'll
if you haven't
see.
seen Blank Check either, check it out.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's doing Blank Check. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for doing this. We're gonna have to do this again sometime soon. Maybe we'll have to do the Jim Carrey catalog and go through all of them.
Maybe
If
we'll
we're
do
gonna
Ace
do
Ventura too.
If we're just going to do 1994 and 1995, that'll keep us busy for a while.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot lined up. So yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate it. Everybody else, tune in next week for new episodes of the Be Kind of Rewind podcast. Subscribe and rate us on all podcast apps, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Be Kind Rewind Pod for all of your nostalgic needs. So thanks, and be excellent to each other.
Infirmary Media.